the quiet moments when the numbers don't add up and the future feels uncertain, you are not alone. This is a space to lay down the heavy burden of financial worry. We will walk together through the gentle and unwavering truth of God's care for you. This meditation is not about quick fixes, but about anchoring your heart in God's eternal character. As we begin, simply breathe and let the tension ease. You are in the presence of the Lord who sees and knows your needs. He calls you his beloved child. Let us turn our hearts toward him now. Consider the lilies of the field and how they grow without toiling or spinning. Your heavenly Father cares for them deeply, and you are far more valuable to him. If God provides for the birds of the air, will he not also provide for you? His provision is part of his very nature, a promise woven into creation. Anxiety about tomorrow cannot add a single hour to your life. Instead, we are invited to seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. All the practical things we need will be given to us as well. This is a shift from fear to trust, from scarcity to divine abundance. Release each specific worry into his capable and loving hands. Picture yourself placing these concerns at the foot of a cross, leaving them there. You can trust in his timing and his perfect ways, which are higher than our own. Rest now in the peace that comes from being fully known and fully loved by your Father. Carry this assurance with you as you move forward from this moment. We're a small group of friends committed to walking this journey of faith with you. Help us support this community by liking and subscribing. So now, are you ready to open your heart to God? Let's begin. The first step in trusting God with our needs is to remember who he is. Our anxiety often grows from a focus on scarcity, on what we lack or might lose. But Jesus invites us into a different reality, defined by his abundant love and sovereign provision. In the Sermon on the Mount, he speaks directly to our deepest worries. He tells us not to be anxious about our life, what we will eat or drink, or about our body, what we will wear. He asks if life is not more than food and the body more than clothing. Jesus points us to the birds of the air, who do not sow or reap, yet are fed by our Heavenly Father. He then asks if we are not of more value than they are. This is not a scolding, but a tender reminder of our infinite worth in God's eyes. Your value is not tied to your bank account, your job title, or your ability to provide. It is anchored in the unshakable truth that you are a child of the King, bought with the precious blood of Christ. When fear whispers that you are forgotten, let the truth of your identity in him whisper back. You are seen. You are known. You are loved with an everlasting love. Take a moment in the quiet to simply rest in that truth. Let the love of your Father wash over you. As we return from that quiet place, let's gently bring our specific worries into the light of God's faithfulness. It's one thing to know God provides for the birds, and another to trust Him with your mortgage, your groceries, or your family's future. This is where faith meets the rough ground of reality. Remember the story of the prophet Elijah in 1 Kings chapter 17. During a severe famine, God commanded ravens to bring him food by a brook. When that brook dried up, God sent him to a widow who had only a handful of flour and a little oil left. It was just enough for one final meal for herself and her son. Yet because she trusted the word of the Lord through Elijah and gave from her desperate lack, her jar of flour and jug of oil did not run dry for many days. God's provision often comes in ways we don't expect, and at the very last moment. It requires a step of obedience and a release of our tight-fisted control. Jesus taught us to pray, "Give us this day our daily bread." This is a prayer of radical, present moment trust. It acknowledges that our provision comes from His hand, day by day. It invites us to live not in the anxiety of tomorrow's potential lack, but in gratitude for today's sufficient grace. What is that one fear you are clutching today? Imagine in your heart placing it into the open, scarred hands of Jesus. He is not distant from your struggle. He knows the cost of everything, for He gave everything for you. Offer Him that specific worry. Place it before Him and wait in the stillness, trusting that He receives it. Coming back from that offering, we can look forward with hope. Trust is not a one-time act, but a daily posture of the heart. It is choosing each morning to seek first His kingdom and His righteousness. We have the promise that all practical needs will be added to us. This seeking first is an active realignment of our priorities. It means investing our time, worship, and love in the eternal realities of God's presence and purposes. As we do this, our perspective shifts. The looming mountain of lack is overshadowed by the majesty of our God. The Apostle Paul learned this secret of contentment in every circumstance. He declared he could do all things through Christ who strengthens him. This strength is for the daily walk and provides courage, peace, creativity, and generosity. God's economy operates on principles of grace, faith, and miraculous multiplication. Your season of uncertainty is not a sign of His absence, but a potential canvas for His glory. As you walk through this time, Keep your eyes open for the manna He provides. Look for unexpected encouragement, timely help, and the quiet assurance of His presence. Let your heart become a storehouse of thanksgiving for each small provision. In gratitude, fear loses its grip. You are walking with the Good Shepherd who leads you through this valley. As we conclude, carry this sense of peace forward. The God who clothes the lilies of the field and numbers the hairs on your head is intimately involved in your life. He is your provider, your shepherd, and your father. Financial seasons will change, but His character remains constant. His promises are your sure foundation. When waves of worry threaten to rise, return to this place of quiet trust. Recall the birds of the air and remember the widow's jar of oil. Rehearse the truth of your priceless worth to Him. Let your prayer be simple. Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. He is faithful to meet you there and to strengthen your faith step by step. You are held and you are cared for. You walk this path with the one who is the bread of life, more than enough for every hunger and every need. Go in His grace and peace.